In this video, I'm going to go over the 5 things I tell my clients to consider before making the decision to buy their next condo. If you're looking to buy a condo in Ottawa, it's a bit different from buying your typical house. Condo prices are generally lower, but when you factor in the additional expenses, you might realize you can't actually afford it. My name is Liam Swords, and I've helped over 1,000 individuals and families buy homes right here in Ottawa, many of which were condos. I've personally owned and lived in 2 condos myself. The first thing you need to know is the financial health of the condo. What does this mean? Are there any pending lawsuits on the condo? Are there any special assessments? Meaning, is there a cash call where all of the owners have to give, say, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for a major improvement like the asphalt that needs to be replaced or the parking garage cement needs to be redone? What are the annual percentage increase on the condo fee? So what I mean by that is, say you buy a condo, or say you're looking at a condo and the condominium fee is $350 a month right now. That is going to increase year over year, typically on inflation. So anywhere from 2 to 4% is what the $350 a month will go up every year. You'll want to look back historically. What has been the increase over the last 3 to 5 years? If you start seeing some wild increases, this is a red flag to you as a buyer that there is something that isn't right in this condominium. The financial health of the condo is not all that stable, so requires much further due diligence on that. See, when you buy a condo, you're buying into a corporation. You're taking on that entity. If things aren't good in the condo, if there's disputes, if there's rising prices on condo fees, then you're wrapped into that. You're a part of that. You can't say, nope, I'm not paying. I just bought this property 6 months ago. Doesn't matter. Once you take possession, you're on title and you ride with that condominium. Now, I'm not trying to deter you from this. As I shared, I've owned 2 condos myself. I think they're great purchases, depending on the building and the financial health of the condo itself. Real quick, if you're interested in buying a condo in Ottawa and don't want any hidden costs or surprised fees, reach out. Our team takes care of everything to make sure you're protected. All of my contact information is below. I'd love to help you. Number 2, what is the condo fee actually responsible for? What I mean by this is, if we use the example $350 a month for the condo fee, what do you actually get for that? What do they look after? Well, the rule of thumb is a condo looks after half of the wall and outside. So if you were to, rip open a wall and you see a cross section from like the drywall to the insulation, to the window, to the brick, halfway out is what the condo looks after. It's the easiest way to think about it. So condos are going to look after the windows. They're going to look after the exterior. They're going to look after the roof. They are not going to look after the inside of the property. So the drywall, the electrical outlets, the bathtub, the toilet, the sink, all of that is your responsibility, typically in like 95% of all condominiums. Important to know though, what is the responsibility of the condo and what is the responsibility for the homeowner? Every condo is different. Also to this point is sometimes the condo fees look after utilities. So, the electricity, the sewer and water, heat, it really depends on condo to condo. So identifying and highlighting specifically what is included and what isn't is important for you to know. Number 3, limitations and restrictions. So you're buying a property, it's your home, you're proud, but there are limitations sometimes with condominiums, different than if you buy just a single home or a townhome, somewhere where there are no condo fees. Examples of limitations and restrictions are, can you rent it out? Are there any short-term rental restrictions on Airbnb or VRBO or anything like that? Number 2, are there pets allowed? That's a big one. I'm seeing this all the time now working with clients. We're out looking at property. And one of the questions out of the gate for some buyers are, they have dogs. So we need to know, is it a pet friendly building or not? Some buildings, there are no pets allowed. Some buildings, there's a certain size of pets that are allowed. And then some buildings, anything goes. And the third thing you're going to want to check is any interior modifications. Can you do them at will that you want? Sometimes it's written in the contract that any type of interior modification needs to be approved by the board and the condo itself. Other condominiums, you can do anything you want inside as long as it's nothing structural. You obviously can't be taking out structural walls where the floor above might fall down or something in that sense. Number 4 is parking. Is there visitor parking? What if you have guests that are coming over and staying for an extended period of time? Like, what does the parking situation look like? Is there on-street parking? Just knowing the parking situation is something that buyers sometimes don't put a lot of emphasis on at the beginning when they're looking at property or during the due diligence phase when they're going through inspection. But then when they move into the property and they're living there, they look back and say, gee, we never really thought about this. What are we going to do in the holidays when our family's in from out of town? Where are they going to park? So make sure up front when you're looking at buying a condominium, identify what's the parking situation, how much is available, are there any additional spots that can be rented on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis? Number 5, and this is kind of like the icing on the cake. This is that whole like resale and future pacing of what your investment will grow to. There's certain condominiums in Ottawa that are kind of stagnant, plateaued, and even coming down into decline. Most buyers I work with are moving into their property, planting roots, and have intentions on staying there for years. But anything can happen. Like, if you ask me today how long my wife and I are going to be in the house we're in, I would say probably for the next 10 or 15 years. Next year, if you reach out to me, I probably will have already moved. You don't know what tomorrow brings. So whenever you're buying a condominium, what I always encourage buyers to do is look at the days on market in that specific condo. Why are days on market important? Well, you want to know how difficult is that property going to be to sell in the future. History leaves clues. So if you see a building that you really like, you're going through all of the due diligence, you're checking on the health of the building, you're finding out what the condo fees look after, you're looking at the limitations, restrictions, you're checking the parking, and now you want to see how strong of investment is this for down the road and selling. If you see a property that has a days on market of like 90, 120, 180, 200 days on market, this is a red flag to me and likely to you as a buyer of why the property hasn't sold. A typical days on market in Ottawa for a condominium is 30 days or less. So if you find a building you like, and as you start to do your due diligence, and you're seeing that property in that building takes like 5 times the length of time to sell, likely history will repeat itself. So down the road, when you go to sell that property, expect and be prepared that it's going to take a lot longer, and likely your actual appreciation is not going to be as high or significant as maybe some other properties. Not to deter you, but just sort of like a bonus pro tip. Whenever you're buying a condominium, take a look at the days on market historically to see how that stacks up against the Ottawa average of approximately 30 days or less. If you're serious about buying a condo and want to know where to start, reach out. I've sold hundreds of condos in my 20 plus years of selling homes right here in Ottawa. I also have a curated list of the best and most professional lawyers, home inspectors, and movers to help you along the way. And if you find out that the condo you buy is not the one, no problem. I'll sell it for free in the first 12 months of you living there. I want you to be 100% satisfied with your decision. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.